class we discussed about the female reproductive system part 1. That's what about external genitalia. So in today's class we are going to discuss about the second part, that is internal genital organs or internal female reproductive organs. Okay. So there are mainly 4 parts are there: vagina, uterus, fallopian tubes and ovaries. Okay, so these all comprising of internal female reproductive organ. What are they? Vagina, uterus, fallopian tube and ovaries. So we'll see one by one. The first part is vagina. Okay, so the first part is vagina. So vagina is a tubular structure, that is fibromuscular tubular structure, which is made up of stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, so that is a fibromuscular tube-like structure made up of stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, so what is the peculiarity of vagina? So in the vagina there is no glands are present. There is no glands in vagina, but still the secretions are there. So from where the secretions are coming? The secretions are coming from the cervix. Okay, and what is the peculiarity of the vaginal secretions? So in the vagina the Dodderlings bacilli are there. Dodderlings bacilli. So it is a lactic acid bacilli. So which secrete lactic acid. So the vagina, that is why it is acidic in nature. Okay, so the vaginal secretions are acidic in nature and it is about 4.5. Okay, so what is the vaginal pH? Vaginal pH is 4.5 and it is acidic in nature, and it is more acidic at the time of pregnancy. Okay, so this acidic, it's already acidic only, and it is more strongly acidic at the time of pregnancy. And in 2 conditions mainly it will change to basic also, or maybe alkaline. Okay, so this vaginal secretions may be alkaline or basic at the time of menstruation and also menopause. Okay, so this much is about the vaginal secretions. And next moving to the location, okay, or the position. So the vagina, that is usually present in between the bladder and the rectum. Okay, so anteriorly the bladder and posteriorly, that is the posterior part, the posteriorly that is the rectum. Okay, and next about the another part, that is fornices. Okay, what is fornices? So here when the cervix is coming and contacting with the vagina, there is a small foldings are forming. Okay, when the cervix is coming to the vagina, there is developing small foldings. Okay, this is known as fornices. So there are mainly 4 fornices are there. Okay, what are the fornices? That is here, this is the anterior fornices, and this one here you can see the groove like structure, and this is known as posterior fornices. Okay, and 2 lateral fornices also present. Okay, so and the anterior fornices is shallow in nature and the posterior fornices is little bit deep in nature. Okay, so this is about the fornices, anterior, posterior and 2 lateral fornices, altogether 4 fornices. Okay, so it's clear about vagina. Okay, so next we are moving to the second part of female, internal female reproductive organ, that is the uterus. Okay, the second part is the uterus. So what is uterus? So uterus is a, so here we can say this all together, we can say it as uterus. Okay, so in the uterus there is made up of 3 parts. What are the parts? Here it is the fundus. Okay, the uppermost dome-like structure of uterus is known as fundus. And the second one here, this is known as body of uterus. Body of uterus. And when the body of uterus is narrowing at the bottom, and this place, that is known as the cervix. Okay, so the fundus, body and the cervix. So these are the three parts of uterus. And next about the measurements of uterus. So the measurements of uterus, the length is about 7.5 centimeter. The length of the uterus is 7.5 centimeter and the width is about 5 centimeter and the thickness is about 2.5 centimeter. So this is the measurement of uterus. Okay, 7.5 into 5 into 2.5 centimeter. And next about the weight of the uterus. So the weight of the uterus is 50 to 70 gram. What is the weight of uterus? The weight of uterus in a non-pregnant mother. That is very important. Okay, so the weight of uterus in a non-pregnant woman, that is 50 to 70 gram. So when the mother is pregnant, it may convert it to 1000 gram. Okay, so 1000 gram at the time of pregnancy. Okay, so 50 to 70 gram in the non-pregnant state and 1000 gram at the pregnancy state. Okay, so parts, then the measurements and about the weight of the uterus. And next coming to the shape of the uterus. So what is the shape of uterus? The shape of uterus is pyriform in shape or pear shape. Okay, so the shape of the uterus is pyriform or pear in shape. And next moving to the layers of uterus. So here you can see 3 layers. 1, then this is the 2 and this is the 3rd layer. So the uterus is made up of 3 layers of muscles. Okay, so what are the 3 layers? First one, that is perimetrium. Perimetrium. Second one, that is myometrium. And the 3rd one, that is endometrium. Okay, so what are the parts? What are the layers of uterus? Perimetrium, myometrium and endometrium. So the outermost layer is known as perimetrium. The outermost layer is known as perimetrium. Okay, and the middle layer, okay, here you can see this is known as myometrium. Okay, so the main significance is the myometrium is one of the thickest layer and it is made up of again 3 muscle layers. Okay, so the myometrium, what are the 3? The outermost, that is the outer longitudinal. Okay, so in the myometrium, the outer layer is the outer longitudinal and the innermost layer is the circular. Okay, so the innermost layer is circular. Then again the middle layer is there. So the middle layer is crisscross layer. So what is the peculiarity of the crisscross layer? In this area, that is the overlying of the muscle fibers are coming, or the interlacing of the muscle fibers. Because of the interlacing, there is forming a crisscross structure, or also it is known as figure of 8 structure, and it is also known as living ligature. So this crisscross is known as living ligature. So clear all of you? So these are the layers. The second layer, that is the myometrium. And again moving to the 3rd layer or the innermost layer. So this is the innermost layer. This layer is known as endometrium. Okay. So what is the peculiarity of endometrium? Endometrium, at the time of pregnancy, it may convert it to deciduum. So endometrium endometrium at the time of pregnancy is known as decidua. Clear? Okay, so this endometrium, this is the innermost layer and it's consisting of so many mucus layers and all. Okay, so that is the peculiarity of endometrium. Okay, so this much is about the layers of uterus. Okay. Next, moving to that is the next part. So here the fundus, this is the body, and the narrowing portion of the body, that is narrowing to and form the cervix. Okay, so the cervix is known as neck of the uterus. Okay, so the cervix is known as neck of uterus. So this is the constricted area that is forming to that is broadened into the body of the uterus. Okay, so here again, so this all together we can say cervix, but again here one of the small construction is present and that portion is known as isthmus. Okay, so what is the isthmus? Okay, so this portion, this portion is known as isthmus. Okay, so isthmus is a small tubular structure, okay, so which ends from the uterus, okay, and it is opening into the vagina. So that tubular structure is known as isthmus. So the point where the cervix, that is starting and it is reaching or going to the uterus, that portion is known as anatomical os. Anatomical os. And the second end of the part where it is opening into the vagina, that part is known as histological os. Clear all of you? So this is a tubular structure. So where it is starting and opening into the uterus, that portion is known as anatomical os, and where the structure that is entering into the vagina, that is known as the histological os. Clear? Okay. So this much is about the uterus. So what are the functions of uterus? What is the main functions of uterus? Uterus helps in the growth of baby. Okay, so the fertilization that is taking place in the uterine tube, but the growth of the baby, that is possible with the help of the uterus, because it is a hollow organ. The baby is getting enough space to grow. So the uterus is helping in the growth of the uterus. Okay, and it also helps, the endometrial layer is also helps in the menstrual process. So these are the main two functions of uterus. And next, then moving to the third part. Okay, so first we discussed about the vagina, second part is the uterus, third part is the fallopian tube. So fallopian tube is also known as uterine tube. Uterine tube. Okay, so this is the fallopian tube, and a pair of uterine tubes are there on either side of the uterus. Okay, and this is about 10 centimeter in length. So what is the measurement of fallopian tube? Fallopian tube is about 10 centimeter in length, and it is divided into 4 parts. So the fallopian tube is divided into 4 parts. What are the 4 parts? The first part is known as interstitial. Okay, so what is this part? Interstitial. The first part, that is interstitial. Okay, and this is the narrowest part that is attached to the uterus, that is known as interstitial. And the second part, that is the isthmus. What is this part? Isthmus. Okay, so this part is known as isthmus. Okay, so this is about 1.5 centimeter and this part is 2 centimeter. And next, the third part, that is nearly 5 centimeter in length, and this part is known as ampulla. So what is the third part is known as? Third part is known as ampulla, and it is about 5 centimeter in length. And this ampulla is having some significance. This is the place where the fertilization is taking place. Okay, which means the gametes meet each other. Okay, so this place, the area where the fertilization takes place. That is the importance of ampulla. And one more thing, that is clinical significance. This is the place, or ampulla is the place where there is more chances of occurring ectopic pregnancy. Okay, these are the two significance. Then ampulla continues to form the fourth part, that is infundibulum. Okay, so this is the fourth part. Fourth part is infundibulum. So infundibulum is little bit broad structure, and it looks like a funnel shaped structure, and at the end of the infundibulum there is finger like appendages are there. Okay, finger like projections, and this finger like projections are known as fimbriae. Okay, so and among this, one fimbriae is one of the longest fimbriae, that is to hold the ovaries. Okay, that fimbriae is known as ovarian fimbriae. Okay, clear? So the fallopian tube is nearly 10 centimeter in length, and it consisting of 4 parts. The first part is the first part is known as interstitial. Second part is known as isthmus. The third part, that is ampulla, and the fourth part, that is infundibulum. Okay, so these are the structure of the uterine tubes. Okay, and next about the functions of fallopian tube. What is the main function of fallopian tube? So fallopian tube, as I told you, the ampulla is the region where the fertilization is taking place. Okay, so the first function is it helps in the fertilization. Okay, the second point, the fertilized ovum, that is propelled from fallopian tube to the uterine cavity with the help of the ciliary movements and the peristalsis movement. Okay, so these are the main two functions of fallopian tube. Okay, so next, moving to the last part, that is ovaries. Okay, so this is the last part, that is ovaries. Okay. So, what is the significance of ovaries? So, the ovaries is known as female gametes or the gonads. Okay, female gonads. That is known as ovaries. Okay. So, what is the main parts of ovaries, or what are the length of ovaries? So, mainly the length of ovaries, that is 2.5 into 2 into 1. Okay, so the length, width and the thickness, okay, that is about 2.5 into 2 into 1 centimeter in measures. And next, moving to the parts of ovaries. The ovaries are having two parts, that is cortex, and the second one, that is medulla. Okay, so the first part is cortex and the second part is medulla. So medulla consisting of the neuromuscular tissues and all. Okay, tissues, that is connective tissues and all. The cortex. So what is the peculiarity of the cortex? The cortex consisting of follicles. Okay, so in the ovaries there are so many follicles are there. So many follicles are there. But only one follicle will reach us to the maturation stage, and that follicle which is maturing, and that follicle is known as Graafian follicle. What is the name of that follicle? Graafian follicle. Okay, Graafian follicle. So what is the peculiarity of this Graafian follicle? The Graafian follicles it will burst out and the ova will be released. Okay, the ova will be released, and after the release of ova, the remaining portion of the Graafian follicle, okay, so after the release of the ova, the remaining part of the Graafian follicle, that is known as corpus luteum. Okay, so what is the function of corpus luteum? This corpus luteum will secrete the hormones, okay, progesterone and estrogen, which helps in the maintenance of the pregnancy, up to which the placenta will taken over the function. Okay, so up to that time, the corpus luteum will help in the maintenance of pregnancy, and once the placenta will taken over, and then it will be converted to corpus albicans. Okay, so this is about the structure of ovaries. It consisting of two parts, that is cortex and the medulla. Okay, and next, what are the functions of ovaries? So what are the main functions of ovaries? So ovaries helps in the secretion of ova. That is the main function, right? And the second one, the secretion of hormones. So these are the main two functions of ovaries. Okay, so in today's class we discussed detailing about internal female reproductive organs. So it consisting of mainly four parts, that is vagina, uterus, fallopian tubes and the ovaries. So first we discussed about the vagina. Okay, so vaginal, what is the main the role, that is about the vaginal secretions. And next important thing, the functions of the vagina. Okay, so I am adding here the functions of vagina. The main functions of vagina is, it is the receptive area of penis at the time of sexual intercourse. It also helps for the, helps in the menstrual flow of blood. And the third one, it helps in the passage of baby at the time of childbirth. And also it is a place where the contraceptive devices like diaphragm, female condoms, like these all things we are placing. So these are the main functions of vagina. Okay, and next we discussed about the uterus, the parts, that is fundus, body and cervix. Okay, and its length and its the layers of uterus, the weight of the uterus, etc. And next we discussed about the fallopian tube, and it consisting of four parts and its functions. And finally, the fourth part, that is ovaries, okay, about its measurements, parts and the functions. I hope you understand the internal reproductive organs. So in the next video, I will discuss about the accessory reproductive organ, that is breast. So see you in next video.